Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about all the tourist attractions on the Royal Mile. Update 2022. How are you all? Hope you're all happy and healthy and well on a beautiful sunny day here in Edinburgh. Spring has starting to sprung. This was a request because it's been a while since I've kind of done a complete list of everything to do on the Royal Mile. To be honest, I don't know if anything's changed. Possibly, it was definitely pre-pandemic that I did a complete list. It may be early channel that I've done a complete list of everything on the Royal Mile. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start at the bottom here. We are right at the bottom of the Royal Mile. And we're going to go all the way up to the top and show you all the attractions, free or to pay for. Although I am doing a gradual playlist of different things that are free to do on the Royal Mile. This will just be a highlight, whereas on those ones when I'm doing them, I'm giving you a little bit more detail. Fair? Okay, so before we get started, if you haven't already, please remember to hit that like button, hit that comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Come subscribe to Clan Broonford. You know you want to. So we're at the bottom of the Royal Mile, and we're going to start right here, Holyrood Palace. So this is it, in here. This is Holyrood Palace, right at the foot of the mile, where you can visit the official residence of the royal family here in the capital city of Scotland. It is open most of the time, I think, apart from if the royal family is in residence, which is not a massive amount of the time. They're usually only here if there happens to be something else in Edinburgh. It's not one of their places where they just go for a holiday or a break or anything like that. You know, so there we go. We are open Monday to Thursday. Thursday to Monday, which means they are not open Tuesdays and Wednesdays. There you go. And there's the website if you want to check it out as well. And that is Holyrood Palace. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that stunning? There's lots of rules. Lots of rules if you're going to go in there for taking pictures and filming and things like that. Like, I couldn't go in with a camera and film it and show you it. Can't do that. There's rules and regulations. It's like if you go to the castle, which is, you know, the end of the list, because that's the top of the mile. You're not allowed to film the crown jewels of Scotland. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I don't make the rules. I just tell you them. So there we go. Holyrood Palace, royal residence, official residence of the royal family. When here in Scotland, you can visit Thursdays to Mondays. Website you've already seen. Prices may vary depending on when you decide to come. Next up, across the road, we have the Scottish Parliament. And there it is, the Scottish Parliament. Now, you might not think of that as a thing to do or an attraction, but you can do tours of the Scottish Parliament, which run every day apart from Tuesday, Wednesdays and Thursdays when Parliament is in session, and when Parliament is not in session, they run every day. Now, here's the thing about these particular tours. They're free. You have to book. You have to go to the Scottish Parliament website. There's a bus. Well, thanks, bus. Book your tour now of the bus. Yes, you have to book online. You can go to the Scottish Parliament website and you can book a slot. You can chance it arriving on the day, but for the most part they do book out. They don't run a massive amount, and I think they only have 20-25 spaces on a tour. Possibly only run about 5 or 6 tours a day, so you know, it's not a massive amount. You can check that one out, completely free, good for the budget. They do talk about Scottish history on the tour as well, so if you're interested in that, it touches on that as well. It's not all just about Parliament, but it does tell you how Parliament works here in Scotland. So there we go, right at the bottom of the Royal Mile you have these two things here if you're interested. Let's start making our way up. It's a little bit before we hit our first thing. Not a massive amount, but a little bit. Next up, we have the Museum of Edinburgh. Now, this is featured in my last video of 3 free things to do in Edinburgh, so I'm not going to go on about it too much. If you want to learn more about this particular attraction, you can go check out that video. I will leave a link in the corner. Less to say that it is free. It is bigger than you think. It's all of that. So it is a decent amount of time you can spend in there. And it's all about Edinburgh. Just dedicated to the history of Edinburgh. And yeah, I don't want to go on too much about it because I've already covered it, but if you are interested in that, check out the link in the corner and I'll put it in the description as well. However, literally straight across the road from it, we have this. The People's Story. Now, not open as of yet, but hopefully again opening soon as restrictions are completely lifted. And it is another one of these free attractions in Edinburgh, all about the People's Story of Edinburgh. So if you're interested in your local history, these are definitely two good sites to come visit. I mean, look at that building. Is that not just beautiful? Is that not just a spectacular building? Look at that, and it's joined on right onto the Tollbooth Tavern there as well. So yes, if you're interested, learning more about Edinburgh and its people, this is a good area to start. Museum of Edinburgh, the People's Story, both of which are completely free. Now we are getting to more of the centre of the Royal Mile now. We're almost about halfway up. And we hit this, John Knox House and the Storytelling Centre. So it's kind of a double whammy here. John Knox House, John Knox being the man who almost single-handedly turned Scotland from a Catholic nation into a Protestant nation at the time of Mary Queen of Scots, who he was not a fan of. They did not get on well. And just to the right-hand side and attached to it, not to be missed, is the Storytelling Centre right there as well. So they've got a nice big cafe, and you can go in, and the Haggis Box, our friends the Haggis Box, are in there now, taking over the cafe, so you can get some of the best haggis in Edinburgh right in there. If you are interested in having a look at what you can do in here, the historic side, the John Knox side, is not free. You have to pay to go in and visit that. And of course the Storytelling Centre is, well, it's kind of like a little storytelling slash theatre space, so they always have different things on, kid friendly, and plays and readings and all these sort of things. If you're wanting to find out more about John Knox House, they invited me in a while ago now, but they did invite me in to have a nice walk around. I will of course leave another link in the corner and in the description if you want to see more. You know what they did? They let me go up there and ring the bell, which, you know, not a lot of people get to do. They let me go up on there and ring the bell. I think it's in there, I think it's in that section there, that used to be there on the old gates of the entrance to Edinburgh. I got to ring that bell. Anyway, you can check that video if you want to learn more about that. On almost the opposite side of the road from it, we have the Museum of Childhood. Again, I don't know if it's open yet. Hopefully once restrictions ease, this will open up and you can head back in there. So just to give you a rough idea where we are, there's John Knox House, so I'm literally just turning round. Museum of Childhood. Now if you want to learn more about that one, again, that is on the same video as the Edinburgh Museum where I talk about that, but it is free. You can go in there and you can spend some time learning about, you know, childhood toys and stuff like that. Again, I'm not going to go into too much about that because I've already done it in the 3 things that were free to do, or 3 things free to do on the Royal Mile. So if you want to learn more about that, go check that one out as well. I love that one. Went there a lot as a child growing up with my dad. I think it's moved. I don't know if it was there originally, but definitely did go there a lot as a child. So check that one out, It's a busy day here in the Royal Mile. You can see things are starting to get busier here. There's a protest about the University of Edinburgh going on. There's a band setting up, obviously with St Giles. But anyway, next here is Mary King's Close. One of Edinburgh's probably most well-known tourist attractions, where you get to explore one of Edinburgh's old underground streets, or the remnants of an old underground close, which has now essentially been built over by the city chambers, which was lost and then reopened when they found it again. People just forgot it was there. They forgot it was there, and it's actually very good, very historical, presented incredibly well, and open most of the time. So if you fancy it, loud here right now. It's loud, really. Lots of deliveries, lots of cars, lots of people. They have to say the Royal Mile is coming back to life. So anyway, yes, if you fancy that, that's where that is. It is right opposite St Giles Cathedral, and well worth a visit, especially if you want your historical visits. I have to get out of the way or I'm going to get run over. Look at this. Look at this. I maybe didn't pick the best day to do this, but for those that enjoy your historical tourist attractions, which probably Edinburgh is mostly full of, mostly, not completely, but mostly, Definitely head to Mary King's Close. It's probably an old classic favourite, one that everyone kind of knows and always worth visiting. So I'm sorry it's not the greatest view today. I can't really control that, but hopefully that's like you know where it is. Again, I'll just sort of refresh your head where it is. There's that there. That's the Market Cross. That's the City Chambers. That's Mary King's Close right behind that Bidfood van right there. Right opposite St Giles Cathedral, right here. I'll leave a link in the description to the website of everywhere, if they've got a website. I will leave a link in the description to the website of all these attractions that I'm pointing out to you, if you fancy visiting them. Okay, next on our list, Gladstones Land. Now this is a favourite of mine just because I think it is beautiful. Look at that. Look at that beautiful building. This is a building that has stayed very close to how buildings were, I don't want to say originally, but previously on the Royal Mile. Apparently now it's a cop show. Previously on the Royal Mile. It's a beautiful old building where you get to explore some incredible rooms, which are, like I said, still in very close condition to what they were like when the building was originally made. Again, I have been in there, visited. They invited me in, it's about 3 years ago, that they let me in to go and have a look in there. So again, I will leave a link to that video if you want to go and see that and have a look and kind of get a better idea of what sort of thing you will see when you're in there. I will say, however, since I made that video, now they haven't obviously refurbished or anything like that, but I maybe want to say restored some of it a little bit, so the video is slightly out of date. Maybe if I'm lucky at some point in the future they'll invite me back to have a look to see how it looks now. But I definitely would like to encourage you to head in there if you enjoy, again, more of your historical sort of sites to visit on the Royal Mile. Definitely well worth a visit. I kind of can't get over how busy the Royal Mile is today. I have to say, you know, the sun is starting to shine now. It has been for about 3-4 days. We definitely start to feel like spring. The sun is making everyone feel a lot happier. We're almost at the top. That's you know, they're heading up towards Edinburgh Castle right there. So we are almost at the top at the end of our list. But it is really, life is really starting to come back to the Royal Mile. And I have to say, this is the first time it's felt like this for a while. Even last year during the Edinburgh Festival, which obviously was far more minimal to normal, it didn't feel this busy. It's nice. Now, as we hit this very top end of the Royal Mile, there's 3 things all in very close proximity to each other. On the left hand side there you can see the Scotch Whisky Experience, where you can learn all about Scotch whisky. I think it has a bar as well. So there we have Scotch Whisky Experience. It says Castle Hill School, so I'm guessing it must have been a school at some point. I did not know that. I've never looked up so much. But there we go. Scotch Whisky Experience, and you can see here it's about 3 floors, 3.5 floors of experience all about Scotch whisky. This is just a top and tail of all these attractions you've probably learned. And then completely opposite it there, completely opposite, other side of the road, we have truthfully one of my favourite attractions in town, the Camera Obscura. I love this attraction. It's a lot of fun, especially if you've got kids. Probably one of the most kid-friendly attractions in Edinburgh. It's all optical illusions and a historic Camera Obscura, and so much fun. Like me and Kirsten going here. We haven't actually, in fairness, I haven't done it for a while, but then again, there was a worldwide pandemic. Even on the outside here, it's got, you know, funny mirrors for you to play with. So you get an idea of all the things you can do by all these pictures and things. There's a mirror maze, and there's optical illusions, and there's apparently a big hand on the Scott Monument. So for kid-friendly people, if you've got kids and you've been in Edinburgh and you want something fun for them to do, I think this one has to be up on your list there. And of course, you can't finish any list of things to do on the Royal Mile without finishing with Edinburgh Castle, the historic castle where kings and queens of Scotland have kind of sort of stayed, home of the Scottish crown jewels, the inspiration for Braveheart, which I bet you didn't know unless you've watched older videos of mine, and of course, in my opinion, one of the most spectacular and beautiful looking castles on the face of the earth. I don't think you can really come to Edinburgh without at least having the castle on your list. You'd have to have it on the list. Whether you manage to get a chance to do it or not, that's a different thing. But it has to be on there because it's Edinburgh Castle. I'm going to be honest though, not the cheapest, but it's a large castle that needs to be looked after. But it's stunning, it's beautiful. The views from it are epic. Even just the views from the Esplanade here are epic. You know what I mean? Looking out over the north side there and Princes Street Gardens towards Fife, and then the south side heading down towards the Pentlands, looking over the Grass Market. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spot. And there we have it. There we have all the tourist attractions on the Royal Mile. Just the heads and tails, just the top and tails of what there is, and generally what they are. I will leave links in the description to any one of these that's got a website, so you can go check them out, learn a little bit more about them. Edinburgh's full of attractions, both historical and your typical fun ones as well. So hopefully, for whatever sort of holiday you're looking to do, at least one, possibly two of those on the Royal Mile will be worth a visit. It's a beautiful sunny day today, I have to say. Like I said, it's nice to see. It is so nice to see Edinburgh getting busier again like this though. I've missed it. I've missed you all. It's nice to see you all coming back. Generally it's just been me wandering about going, well, we've got this and we've got that, and none of you have been here, but look at all you beautiful people coming back. It's nice to see you. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, guys, please remember, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It would genuinely mean the world to me. But till next time, bye humans.